Okay, well the air kicked on, so we're just gonna be done. What is up, BookTube? It is Monty, and it has been a while since I've sat down to film something. I feel like I look like I'm filming in a cave. I don't think I'm going to be keeping this lighting situation. I just could not be asked to plug in a second lamp because, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. But we're in quarantine. It looks like I'm in the middle of like I said, a fucking cave. But we're here. I've read some things. It's a new month. It's May. Who knows what's going to happen in May? I don't know what's going to happen in May. I have no set TBR or anything. So let's just talk about the things that I finished. Both of these were arcs. Both of these were provided to me by the publisher, obviously. So I'm not going to talk about one of them very much. This morning I finished When You Get the Chance by Tom Ryan and Robin Stevenson. I'll throw a picture up over here. It was cute. I have a review written. I don't want to talk about it too much now because the publication date got pushed back a year. And I'd like to be able to talk about it when the book is actually coming out. So I have thoughts on it, but it's not coming out for a year, so we're not going to talk about it. What we will talk about, though, is The Lost Carnival by, I want to say, Michael Moreci. I'm sorry. This, again, like I said, was an arc that was provided to me by DZ Comics. They also reached out in an email, which is very uncommon in my experience on NetGalley, and they tried to like provide me with some images to share. I couldn't get that link to work, so it is what it is. Here's the cover. The art in this book is beautiful. It is a graphic novel. But my issue with this is I just don't think this is a good place to start. I am by no means a DC expert. I cannot give you a place to start with whatever character. I just be Googling shit and be like, where do I start? But as someone who does appreciate them some Dick Grayson, I won't go so far to say they're my favorite Robin because I haven't, like I said, I'm not well read enough. But I do appreciate Dick Grayson and the stories that I've read this year. Earlier this year I read a Nightwing volume. I enjoy Brenton Thwaites' portrayal on Titans. Like, I like this character. The person I read about in The Lost Carnival, a Dick Grayson graphic novel, I don't know who that man was. First of all, this character is like a good 16, 17 years old. That very well could be the same age he is in like the main continuity storylines. But I think when you're reading this, you have to read it as it is written as a standalone. But it's so lackluster that you're just kind of like, well, the Dick Grayson that is presented in The Lost Carnival, a Dick Grayson graphic novel, never feels like they could be Robin to me. I don't feel his like detective abilities. Like, sure, he's still an acrobat. He's still part of the Flying Graysons. He's still at Haley Circus. But this idea of like a circus existing, like a traveling circus existing in the age of the internet that was hard to follow. The Lost Carnival plot felt very Pinocchio to me. The love interest was all of the bad things of insta-love. Like, it just, like, on a plot, structural, narrative level, one, I was confused. And then when I understood what was happening, I wasn't invested. And then the whole plot just seemed to exist to facilitate the insta-love, which was a weird choice to me. I didn't really feel like in these sort of Elseworlds-like stories where they're divorced from the main continuity of the comics, where they exist, things like this, I believe, exist to get people to read the actual, like, the main storylines, right? Like, you pick up The Lost Carnival of Dick Grayson graphic novel, you fall in love with Dick Grayson, you want to read him as, you know, in the olden, like the golden age of comics, or the silver age, or you want to see him as Nightwing, or you want to see his run on the Teen Titans. Like, they're functionally story, like, things that, you know, all of these companies put out to get people into, like, the vast canon that is comic books. But I didn't really feel like we were exploring Dick Grayson as a character here to where I'd be like, I want to read more of this person. Because it was just very... It was it was bland and boring, and nobody wants, like, I don't know, it just didn't work for me. I don't know. I think that if I wasn't already invested in Dick Grayson as a character, if I wasn't already interested in, you know, continuing to search out stories that featured him prominently and explored his character throughout history, this wouldn't have been it. The person that was presented here was very boring and flat, and it's not anything against Michael Moreci, because Michael Moreci, just through like a quick Goodreads search, it looked like he's written Dick Grayson before. He's worked with DC before. He's very talented. He has a lot of things that he's worked on. So like, I don't think that it was like a him problem. It just didn't click for me. And I don't really know if it would click for a lot of people unless you were already like a well-established person. Like, you had already established connections to Dick. And maybe some of the side characters from the carnival have also appeared. I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not an expert. But for people, I don't think this really functions the way that I think things like this are meant to. I don't think I would read this and want to continue. Because I think that narratively it was a very boring story. It wasn't very innovative. And again, Dick Grayson just wasn't written as a character that I think most readers would want to continue on. I think I mentioned this already, but the art was stunning. Typically, I don't like graphic novels that feature a sort of monochromatic color scheme where it's just like varying shades of blue or whatever. But I think the dichotomy between the blue and the oranges that were presented here as sort of symbolic dichotomies of the story, it was executed well, and I appreciated it for what it was. But again, I do prefer like full color. I do prefer people of color looking brown, black, tans. Like, I don't like them looking gray, blue. Like, it just bothers me. I don't like seeing it, so there was that issue as well. But overall, I think that there's nothing inherently wrong with The Lost Circus, a Dick Grayson graphic novel, but I do think that it leaves a lot to be desired. As I mentioned earlier in this little catch-up video, I don't have anything planned to read. I do believe that May, there goes my phone, May is Asian Pacific Heritage Month, I believe. I could be wrong here. But all I have are some Sailor Moon graphic novels that I had already checked out, volumes 6 and 7. Still haven't read them. I might get to them. I finally bit the bullet. I got a Kindle. I love it. It's working out for me so far. It's how I manage to read when you get the chance. So I might pick up some of the arcs on there. I don't have any arcs by Asian authors. I might check out my library's ebook situation, see what's available. Oh, I have the Bone Witch. Maybe I'll read the Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. Rin Chupeco's Asian. Maybe that's what I'll do. So, like I said, I don't know what I'm going to be reading for the rest of the month. I don't know when the next video is going to be, but I hope to see you there, and I'm excited. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe during this clusterfuck of a situation we all find ourselves in. But I'll see you again soon, hopefully. Hopefully it won't be another, like, 3-week hiatus or whatever this was. I'll see you guys again soon. Hopefully it won't be looking like I'm coming to you from the inside of a cave. But until then, and until next time.